Hey guys, what's going on? You almost had it. Thanks for rejoining us. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Thursday build show here at the Empower Gaming Studio. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, and I'm going to be building a awesome PC for a very patient Victor. I was actually supposed to stream this yesterday, but we got tied up with some support requests throughout the day. So here I am streaming it frantically to get the PC completed today, because Victor would like to pick this up today. He has, I think, a trip coming up this weekend, so he wants to get the PC today to start using it. So thank you, Victor, for being patient while we put together this build for you. I'm in my plain white tee today, so I apologize. I'm not in my Empower attire, but or merch or shirts. Today I'm in a plain white tee. Very rare to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it because we don't have a ton of time. I have to throw this build together and then have it ready for pickup before this evening. So. And I've got to, after that, immediately go out and take a look at a stream setup for somebody local over here that's needs some upgrades. So I'm going to be taking a look at that as well. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here and move the camera. Bear with me here. There we go. All right, so off the bat, let's go ahead and run through the build out. So today we're going to be building with a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. That bad boy over there in the corner. It's got 8 cores, 16 threads, a max boost of 5.4 gigahertz, and it's got the 3D V-Cache technology from AMD. So this is this build is actually going to be very specific for X-Plane 12. So this is what it was built out for specifically. So it's an awesome build. Really, the idea isn't for looks or anything crazy like that. It's for performance. So everything here is all performance driven. We've got a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D, which is very good with X-Plane 12. If you're not familiar with the flight simulators, X-Plane 12 is a very realistic simulator that really helps kind of learn how to fly a plane. Microsoft Flight Simulator can run on this as well, but we're a little light on the graphics card, being the RTX 3060 that we have here. But overall, it's really built out for X-Plane 12. Alright, so to cool the CPU, we're going to be using the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE, which has got 6 heat pipes and 2 120mm PWM fans. So this is a great cooler for the CPU combo air cooler. Then we're going to be using an Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus Wi-Fi 2. The only downside is there's no USB-C header on this board. That's one of the reasons why I don't use this board a lot. And then we've got 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 CL16 RAM by G.Skill. It's just G.Skill Ripjaws 5 series. And then a 1 terabyte M.2 Gen 4 SSD by Team Group. And that is the MP44 by Team Group. It's a really solid Gen 4 SSD that's really going to help those load times for X-Plane 12 and speed things up a little bit. Our graphics card, like I mentioned earlier, is an NVIDIA RTX 3060. It's a 12 gig card. It's PCIe 4.0. It's 192-bit. This is the MSI Ventus 2X, because there's 2 fans, and that's the naming scheme for MSI. It is also factory OC'd, as you can see here at the top of the box. And then we're going to be throwing this in a Zelman i4 ATX mid tower. So this is actually a really cool tower. You probably haven't seen me stream it before on the live stream, but this tower is basically all mesh. So the front is mesh, the side is mesh, The top is mesh, the back, well, it's mesh. So it's like a mesh tower, all mesh, but it's for it gives the PC a really good airflow, and it's less for the airflow, but more for heat dissipation. The case does include 6 120 millimeter fans, so we'll see how good those fans are. But overall, in the past that I've used, they're fine. They're great. They're great little fans that are included. So we've got 3 on the front, 2 on the top, 1 in the rear for the fans for 120 millimeters, and then we have a 750 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, because he does plan to eventually maybe upgrade the graphics card. So we've got 750 to allow an upgrade if you wanted to upgrade maybe to like a 4070 later down the road, or to a AMD card, and that'll help performance with the Microsoft Flight Simulator later down the road. We are planning Windows 11 for this build, and the board's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into it. We're going to be using standard black PSU cables, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the build, because we got to get this thing done today. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to move some of this out of the way because we don't need it right off the rip. Actually, just those 2 components. The rest of it we will need. For example, the Asus motherboard. We'll need that. Is the music too loud? I feel like it's too loud. I'm going to turn it down just a notch. There we go. That's probably better. Okay, so let's get started with the Asus motherboard. And there's our awesome B550 motherboard. An Asus TUF Gaming motherboard. It's got the Asus TUF heat sinks, or heat spreaders. I'm actually just trying to figure out here the best position for this. Yeah, maybe bring it in a little bit more. There we go. It's got the nice, Asus TUF style to it, so let's go ahead and get the CPU installed, and then we'll move on to the SSD and the RAM and the cooler. So here's our Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. This is probably one of the best gaming CPUs you could put on this platform. And specifically with X-Plane 12, it runs very, very good. There we go. Gonna go ahead and grab our Team Group MP44 SSD, M.2 Gen 4. And then we do need to get a stud installed here. Very important that you use these, by the way. If you don't, you will jack up your SSD over time. And then we're going to peel that off the heat thermal pad. And try to get this thing lined up here. There we go. Now we're going to get the RAM installed in A2B2 slots, A2B2. This is 16 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 megahertz, CL16. Plenty of fast for what he's doing. All right, now we are ready for the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE Tower Air Cooler. I'm going to give it a little bit of a zoom out for this one. How to open box. There we go. All right. I believe we're going to be removing those brackets here, adding the Thermalright brackets. Still absolutely loving my PC. You did a great job. Awesome, Welch. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Thanks for the fine words. You know, sometimes I do try. I think actually point this on the inside. Make sure you always peel the cooler peels. If you don't peel that, it ain't gonna cool. Then our extra long screwdriver for this scenario. Get down there into the center of the cooler. There we go. And then last but not least, our fans. We want to get the clips on here so that we can mount it. Little fan clip bracket thing, whatever you want to call this. And the second fan, which is going to be on right above the RAM there. On the cooler, right above the RAM. Right up. Both of them so that they look aesthetically pleasing here. Perfect. And just like that, our motherboard is ready to go in the case. Well, let's do some zip tie cleanup here real quick. You know how I am about my zip ties. All right, so next, get the case out. Once again, this is a case that you probably have never seen me build in before. And that is because it's all mesh. The new case that I wanted to test out. Ouch. But it's an all mesh case. So the whole side panel is mesh. Get a good look at it. All mesh. The front and the side. Got some good weight to it too. We're probably going to loosen this up and slide it out of the way so we could drop the board in. There's also a GPU mount here if we wanted to go vertical. Plenty of good working space in here. Get the back panel removed and get the hardware out. Just going to reorganize some of these cables really quick. I think we could have done better here, especially if we wanted on the bottom of the case, which we do. And then that just gives us a little bit more room to work with here with our cables. Keep it cleaner. Okay. So now we're going to drop the board in here after we put in our IO shield. Hey, what's up, Army Vet? Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream again. To the madness. This one I actually have to have built and ready to pick up within probably the next hour or two. I was supposed to stream yesterday, and I got kind of tied up with support requests and whatnot, so didn't get to. I didn't get time to actually start the stream until it was after 10 p.m. And at that point, I was burnt out. There just wasn't enough time. But it's okay. We're doing all right. How are you doing today? Time crunch. Tell me about it. A little bit of a time crunch because I got to get this one done, and then I got to go take a look at Streamer's PC. He wants some upgrades, and he wants me to come out and take a look at it. His setup. So I'm gonna go take a look after this. Done and taken care of. And then I just got contacted about an open loop that needs to be serviced like ASAP. I gotta go take a look at that. Or actually, they're bringing it in tomorrow morning. So I think they bought the open loop build, or had somebody build it for them. They just didn't know that you have to service it. And so now the CPU is overheating because the fluid is no longer flowing because there is a leak that they did know about but didn't take care of it. So it's important, if you have an open loop and you have a leak, number one, immediately get that serviced. Number two, you want to always have liquid in the loop. If the loop is not flowing, then you don't have sufficient liquid, or your pump is dead. And in this case, there's just not enough liquid because it leaked. So the CPU is just heating up the liquid on the block right now. And then once it gets to a point where the liquid is no longer able to cool anything, the CPU is just overheating and now thermal throttling, and I'm hoping it didn't damage anything. Man, this case has been a super big breeze to build in so far. I actually like it a lot. This is a full mesh tower, if you didn't catch that, Army Vet. The whole side panel isn't glass, it's a mesh. Completely blacked out. It's going to be sexy looking. This build would be, you know, the build for all of my non-RGB fans. Oh, cool. Yeah. Cool. A lot of people like the RGB, but there's there's that fan base that doesn't like the RGB, so this one's going to be blacked out, no RGB. All right. Here we go. Already looking pretty badass. I think the motherboard has a little bit of RGB on it, but Can't really do much about that. We can shut it off in the software though, so that's not a big deal. Alright, so now that we've got that installed, or that ready, we're going to start getting some of these connections plugged in. Front panel connectors, including our fans, I think go there. Yes. No. Yes. No, I can't see. That. Yes. That was right. One of the downsides to this motherboard is it doesn't have USB-C, and it drives me nuts that they made a second version of this board and didn't add it. Asus, please. USB-C for front panel, to be specific about that. It was the USB-C front panel that they, the header that they didn't add. Even after making a second version of the board, I was like, come on. For this being a tough gaming series, you should definitely have USB-C. Pretty sure our USB 3.0 is up here. It is, but it's in the second, this one here. And then the rest of these are all RGB, or power switch and power LED connections. This one we don't actually use. And this I would like to run outside of this situation that we're currently in. Cable management looks better when I'm done. There we go. Flip it over, plug it all in. Here, look at the back of my neck. Pretty cool, huh? Actually, we gotta go up one. Still a great board though. And the only reason why I work with this board is because it's part of the 5800X 3D bundle with the RAM and the motherboard from Power or Micro Center. So it's a great deal right now on that bundle. Downside is you have to, if you have USB-C front panel, you're not going to be able to plug it in. That is the negative on the board. You can get a USB 3.0 adapter to USB-C. That's about the closest thing you could do, but then you won't have USB 3.0 unless you have a splitter, and at that point, then it's just getting dumb. Then you could buy an adapter, then a splitter, or a splitter to an adapter. But then you've spent the extra cost where you could have gotten a board with USB-C. So, on the front panel. do, do. Everybody's like, what the hell is this guy just complaining about? Just complaining to complain, okay? Probably should be waiting for the power supply to be doing this wire harness thing. But whatever. I did it. That's right. It's all zip tied up. Hey, by the way, do you like my early stream? It's not because I had to. I decided to do this by choice, you know? Everybody that saw me go live were probably like, what the hell is this guy thinking? Okay. We got our connections all connected for the case. All done. Looking good. Now we got to drop the card in and get the power supply in. Fire this bad boy up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hey, whatever works. Just fun to watch. Awesome. I'm glad somebody enjoys watching. All right. Get through the anti-static bag to reveal an RTX 3060 by MSI, the MSI Ventus 2X, which is factory OC'd and features two fans on the cooler, which are beefy. I'd say they're probably 120s-ish, or close to it. Let's go ahead and remove these covers. And we'll drop the card in. Checking to make sure there's no peels there. There are none. Beautiful. This case also features a GPU bracket, if you haven't noticed there. So excellent for system integrators such as me, because I can reposition this bracket and use it for helping with shipping, or just the fact that it has a GPU support bracket is pretty darn cool. Just need to reposition it slightly. Oh god, that's on there tight. Come on, you. There you have it. Bracket might be squeezing a little bit too hard. There we go. That's better. Cool. All right, power supply time. Whoosh. Hello. Oh, the most favorite thing, twist ties. My favorite. You know, every day I get out of bed, I always think to myself, oh, how I love twist ties. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you would know that that is a complete lie. Alright, PCIe, and the last PCIe twist tie. Going in. Okay, power supply ready to install. I wonder if that hard drive cage is going to have to move. Let's see. Looks like we'll just make it in there. Nice. Do. I don't know. Cable should just go here, I guess. Four pin goes up here. CPU 8-pin EPS power goes up here. Nice. And then our PCIe 8-pin, which unfortunately the 24-pin went through. Make a tangled mess. And the rest of these go down below like this. Make less of a mess. Like that. And we'll shove it just through. Right, let's go. And we'll go around the bracket. Like so. Needs a zip tie. Keep it clean. There we go. So there's our 8-pin PCIe plugged in, power to the GPU. And then we've got 24-pin power for the motherboard. We're just gonna go up and over, try to match that. Goddamn, work with me. Big old heatsink getting in my way. There we go. And then last but not least, our 8-pin EPS cable, which is power to the CPU. Always coming in and pointing the wrong way, because I wouldn't have it any other way. Once again, large heatsink in the way, big fingers, not working. And for any of you who have been in this situation before, you know it sucks. This is where modular power supplies are nice. I could have plugged that in beforehand. There we go. Now we just need a zippity zip and fire it up. Zippy zip time. Doing. I love how that is trying to be the boss. When it should know better. Hey, what's up, King? How are you? I'm doing good. And how are you doing, sir? Welcome back to the stream. Another build stream. You're good too? Awesome. Awesome. Good to hear, man. How's the Wednesday, or Wednesday, got it. The Thursday treating you? It's already Thursday. Thursday. Guys, we just did something. We just ran out of zip ties after this next one. We just ran out of zip ties! The bag is empty. So long, 6-inch zip ties, that is. It's okay, have no fear. The new bag is here. Look at them all. Look at all those zip ties. Oh, yeah. 1,000 strong. There we go. Easy peasy. Look at the inside of that beast. Oh, yeah. It's black. It is blacked out. 100% blacked out, minus, I guess, the RGB on the motherboard, the side of the motherboard. But, blacked out. It's gonna look sick. Now we just gotta get it to post. And then we have to install Windows and then drivers. Oh my! Alright, I'll fire this bad boy up and see what it looks like. You won't be able to see much, it's blacked out, but that's okay. What CPU? GPU is in this build. It is a Ryzen 7 5700X 3D, along with a RTX 3060. The primary use of this build is going to be a Flight Plane 12. So it's a flight simulator build, specifically for Flight Plane 12. The whole side panel is actually a mesh. Check this out. So, some really good breathing. The mesh, complete mesh side panel. Had it upside down, but pretty cool, huh? All right, let's go ahead and fire it up. Lights. No lights, actually, but camera in action. Here we go. Concerned that some of those fans aren't spinning. We might have to adjust how many fans are on the single channel and move them to a different header. Oh, there's too many. New CPU installed. We got a post. F1 to continue. Damn, this PC is super black. Yes. It is blacked out. 100%. Minus the RGB on the motherboard down there at the bottom. And that's the post LED light. Or the debugger light. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's install Windows. Just curious to see if this is good. We'll see if I can get my capture card working so I can go through the software side of it, because I got to do this really quick anyway. Oh, look at me. Look that way. Come on. Let's see if I can get the capture card working here. Oh no, it's not working. Be right back. I'm just floating out in bubbles. Come on. It's gonna make me. It's going to make me do this the hard way. It's okay. It's okay. Keep calm. All right, once we get into Windows, then the capture card will probably start working. I don't know why, but this capture card just hates low resolution situations. It hates it. Don't understand why, but it just hates it. Doesn't want to have anything to do with low resolution. It's like, nope. It is a 4K capture card though, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Do 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 do. Just waiting on Windows. While we're doing that, we can probably dick around with these fans and figure out what the deal is. How about that? That's right, I'm going to do it while we're installing Windows, because that's a great idea. And I'm full of good ideas. Alright, so let's figure this out. Fortunately, then you wonder why I go through so many zip ties. I have to do all of that. These. I'm gonna have to go. Probably won't. Up here. Sure. Why? Up here. Do. Woo! Maybe we shouldn't be doing that with it plugged in. Cable management, bro. I want to be a computer master and craft new computers. Well, don't follow what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to bend a pin back on this fan. Well, it's plugged in and on. Probably dumb. I bent a pin, apparently, or... There we go. See if I fried something. He's fine. I'm just worried about the fan. I just bridged the connection. Oops. Fine. It's fine. Everything's good. You're my crush. Oh, thanks. Everything's good. We're good. Let's go back to the side view. See, we got these fans working now. So this fan here on the rear and the two on the top weren't working. because there was just too many fans on one wire harness. Okay, so now that we're in Windows 11, or right, let's see, is it gonna work? Oh, 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 maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. All right, so we're gonna go through. Want to subscribe? Sure. I'm trying to get to the point where I could use my capture card so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hey, what's up, some giant idiot? Subscribed. Thank you, sir. For some reason, I don't get the notification. But thank you for the sub, Blue. Discord, please. You should be able to find Discord, I think, on Twitch. So if you go over to Twitch and look up Empower Gaming Computers, there should be a link to Discord there. DC? Discord. I don't think that exists, some giant idiot. Because I'm a giant idiot and I don't put that in there. You're on, okay. Nice. Wee woo wah? Wee woo wah. Is that how you pronounce it? Wee woo wah? On YouTube? Nice. But if you go over to Twitch, I think it's in the, on one of the panels. 320 subs. That's pretty good, sir. Pretty good. I think we're at like 186 now, if you subbed. But I'm not really trying to keep track. You say wee woo wah. Sounds good. Continue with limited setup. Is it posting? It is posting. Yes. I'm trying to get the capture card over here working so you guys can see the rest of the work. Capture card works. It's just, it doesn't like low resolution scenarios for some reason. This particular card that I'm working with, which by the way, I don't recommend using if you're working with lower resolution stuff, like BIOS. Do I watch EJ Labs or Linus Tech Tips or Zach's Turf? I actually have seen all of them. What are the specs on this PC? This one is a Ryzen 7 Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. So it's got the 3D cache by AMD on a B550 Asus TUF Gaming Wi-Fi 2. I think it's the Plus edition, not the Pro. And then an RTX 3060 12GB graphics card. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4, 3200 MHz CL16, and then we have a 1TB M.2 NVMe SSD, Gen 4 SSD by Team Group. It's an MP44. And then the power supply is a 750 watt bronze power supply. Yo, it's me, King from YouTube. Hey, what's up, King? What is the budget? This budget right here was, I think, just over $1,000. Yeah, it was $1,113 for all of this. And this is a Thermalright Peerless Assassin. If you're familiar with Gamers Nexus, they did a very good, detailed review on this cooler. Highly recommended, by the way. That thing is a monster still then. Yeah, what a nice machine. You'll be building, I'll be building my PC next month if all goes well. Awesome. Nice. Well, I hope the build goes good. You can always reach out if you ever have any questions. Crucial. Why not P3 Pro Crucial? Honestly, Crucial and I have a very, we butt heads a lot. It's actually around their warranty or RMA process. I'm a system integrator. They don't like to work with us very well unless you're a big account. At least that's the experience that I've gotten. Tech Jesus seal of approval. Yes. Some giant idiot. Yes. You got a banger deal for 600? Nice. Where's the RAM? The RAM is underneath the fan. You can barely see it. If I slightly move it, you can probably barely see it down there. But the cooler is covering it up. The fan hangs over it. All right, let's see if I can get the desktop at 1080p. Come on, you. And then we'll switch it over to the capture card so you can see if it works. I don't know. Crap. Do. You exist on both planes of existence. Yes. Some giant idiots over on YouTube and Twitch right now. It's funny. Alright. Maybe. This capture card's a piece of crap. Whenever I need it to work, it doesn't work. And whenever I don't need it to work, it just works. And I don't know. I don't know. Definitely going to upgrade that. I'm just going to keep doing it. Intel i9 11th Gen 1660 Super DDR GDDR6 16 gigs of RAM, 4TB M.2, and Cooler Master Cooler and Lian Li LANCool 205 mesh. Oh, and motherboard gigabyte and 600 watt power supply. Nice. So the gigabyte motherboard is probably a 590 for 600 bucks. That's pretty good. Yeah, especially that i9 11th Gen. Although that was probably their weaker i9s between the 10th and 11th Gen. The 10th Gen I think was better. That's just my opinion. But I mean, still, killer banger deal. That is a banger deal. All you got to do is upgrade that graphics card, add another 16 gigs of RAM, and you got yourself a decent rig to stream with. You just stumbled upon my stream. Hope your channel grows. Thanks, man. I'm trying. Do what I can, man. Usually I stream later in the evening. This is a rare earlier stream, but I do want to start trying to do earlier streams as well, so... you made it. Nice. Oh, for 600 bucks? That's pretty good. That is a really good deal. But yeah, it's this is a build that I'm putting together for a customer that wanted a nice X-Plane 12 experience, but didn't want to spend like $2 grand. They were trying to keep the budget around $1,000, so we already know with X-Plane 12, if you're familiar with that, it's a flight simulator. It's very realistic and it's very heavy on the CPU. We know the X3D chips work really well with X-Plane 12, so we had to kind of just go with that. And the best one within that budget is going to be the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. So that's what we have under here, under the Peerless Assassin by Thermalright. RAM, not a big deal because he can always just add more RAM later if he needs it. And the graphics card, he wanted to also do Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Flight Plane 12 doesn't actually require any major graphics card, so he can do really well with 3060 that we have here. And he can always upgrade because we did go with a 750 watt, so he can go all the way up to a 4070 if he wanted to comfortably in the setup later down the road. And that would pair very well with the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D. And then we got the 1 terabyte of storage, so if really all he's going to do is flight simulators, that's more than enough storage. This case is the Zalman i4, I think it is, what it's called. Zalman i4. It's a ATX mid tower and it's all mesh. So let me show you the back or the side panel. It's actually an all mesh side panel. Pretty cool, huh? So there's a lot of breathing available. It's actually designed so you can vertical mount the card and have a lot of airflow to it. Our flight simulators that demanding at resolution will so he's gonna be playing at 1080p. It's not. Did you get any 4070 Super cards? Not yet. Not yet. And I'm actually not super impressed with the 4070 Super, other than maybe helping out the cost. Our flight simulators that demanding at what resolution will the customer? So they're going to be playing at 1080p, and they're but what else? Microsoft Flight Simulator is probably the more demanding title. Flight Plane 12 is more CPU bound, whereas Microsoft Flight Sim is more GPU bound. So if he wants to run both, the best thing I could do is set him up best for Flight Plane 12, which is more CPU bound, and that's also the one he said he was going to be mostly wanting to play or focus on. So that is why we went with the CPU. So we spent more money on the CPU. I will get 7600X as GPU. Okay, that's a good graphics card. You want that 37 Noctua GPU? It's cool. Best fans, yeah, it's a good cooler. The Noctua cooler on the, I think that was an Asus and Noctua thing with the 3070. It's a good card. But don't overpay, because for a 3070 today, you should only be spending close to like 350 bucks. So I would not be overspending on that. Want to have tomorrow shout out from my channel? Wee woo woo woo. Huh? Yeah. If you want to shout out, go for it. I appreciate all the support. Nice build. Oh, thanks, Steve. I was actually wondering if you're going to join, because I knew you would appreciate this one, Steven. I knew you would. It's all blacked out, and it's got a mesh side panel. See? It's a completely mesh side panel instead of glass. So lots of breathing here. This PC breathes. Some giant idiot. I thought it was odd that they used the 3070 for a collab instead. Something more popular like a 3080. Yeah, I thought that was weird too, but I think they were trying to keep the price down. The collaboration between Noctua and Asus. I don't know. I don't know why they chose the 3070. You could make your own. You know, you could take any 3080 or 3090, strip the plastic cooler off of it, and then slap some Noctua fans on it, plug it into a PWM header on your motherboard, and just run that. Mesh acts as a filter also. Nice. Yeah, this is the Zelman i4. It's an ATX mid-tower. No, I'm not going to tell any of my customers to go subscribe to other channels. I don't push them. I don't do that. I don't even ask them to subscribe to my channel. They're just here, customers supporting the business, and you know, if they want to come watch on the channel, they can. But I don't ask anybody to subscribe. They do if they want. Tell the CPU specs. So this is a AMD Ryzen 7 5800X X3D, which has got the 8 cores, 16 threads, and a maximum boost of 4.5 gigahertz max turbo, or boost, whatever you want to call it, with the 3D V-cache. I'm actually surprised we don't have GPUs with options for custom 120mm fans yet. That's actually a really good point, some giant idiot. I am also surprised that doesn't exist. That would actually be really cool. But then again, that takes away a whole market if you do that. Everybody that manufactures aftermarket fans to replace these, they're all done at that point. And then that whole market share goes to case fan manufacturers, and case fans are actually the cheapest component to manufacture for computers. So they're the cheapest, even though some of them are super expensive. So case fans in general for PCs are just, you know, the super expensive ones. It probably only costs them a few dollars to make. The ones that are like 100, like you know, $40 or $50. So if you think about it, they're making a crazy ton of money on that. Of course, there's design and extra, you know, overhead cost on there, but they're making a lot of money on it. I got a better build for 1K US dollars. It got Fortnite on epic settings. It gets 237 average FPS. Nice. They could still make the PCB heatsink brackets and include their own fans, but we would want to replace the fans with our own. You know, a really cool idea would be like a 3D print a bracket that screws into where the existing fans used to be. And then, no, that was kind of weird. I hope that didn't go across the stream. It was weird. But you could make like a bracket that fits where the old fan was, that expands out to 120 millimeter. It's going to extend the width of the card, but I mean, that would be cool. Somebody make an adapter approach to it. Yeah, some ideas. Saw the flash on both. Nice. I don't know what that was. That was weird. My music just went brr, and then everything went back to normal. It's probably my sound card on my motherboard. I have a B550 in that. I thought it was an X570, but it's actually a B550 ASRock Steel Legend in my stream PC still. And I thought at some point I had moved it over to an X570, and then I started having these weird audio glitches, and I think it's the board going slowly. Doesn't want to go any further. All right, let's see now. Maybe now I can get. I really want this. I want to prove that it works. This capture card. Ah! I think I got it working. Maybe. Here's a black screen we could stare at. Everybody loves that. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Capture card. Working. What do we want to do? Brio? No. Well, what's that one? Okay. i5 12th gen, 16 gigs RAM, AIO, RX 6600. What is now? We live. Let's go. Yeah. Look, it's a capture card and it works. Ta-da. I wasn't lying. I don't know why, but it does that. So anyway, some of the first steps after I install Windows for an ASUS board, it's going to be to install the ASUS Armory Crate. Usually that'll pop up and ask you to install it right away. And then after I get into the ASUS Armory Crate, I'll go into the tools, go into the driver, and just download and install all these. And then I'll go through and install all of the motherboard drivers. Let's go. Bye. What's bye? I'm white in a white background. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Got a white t-shirt on with a white back. I don't know. But yeah, here we can check out the specs. If you really want to see them. You need to go? Okay. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out. You're loving your 4070 Ti. Just got done playing The Last of Us 1440p Ultra. No upscaling, no DLAA, or frame gen. Looked great, and the game was very fluid. Felt really nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty cool game. I like that one as well. 1440p Ultra though, that's pretty good. Task Manager. I don't need the Task Manager. I was just trying to like give myself a dark background, and then I was like, nah, forget it. What do you want to see in the Task Manager? The Performance tab. What do you want to see? It's got the 7800X 3D 8-core processor. It's got the 16 gigs of DDR4 3200 RAM. Yes, I have not enabled the DOCP yet. And that's because I'm going to do a BIOS update before I do that. And then click on specs. I don't think there's a specs section in here specifically called out, right? I think it's just the performance. Or is there a specs section in Task Manager? I don't know. Never heard of that. And then the 3060. So this is the fun. The next fun part of building PCs is the software side that nobody really thinks about. Like, hey, I got the PC built now. Well, this is the software side where you just run through and got it. I got English on. You got America. That's why. What? Oh, because are you from like England or? I think it's called US English. Best RAM setup, 2 or all 4 slots. I would recommend probably just going with 2 and not trying to fill out 4, especially when it comes to DDR5. If you're going with DDR5, definitely only go with 2. Want to do some Cinebenching? I will do some Cinebenching. I will. Just for you, some giant idiot. I will run Cinebench. Just got to get these drivers installed. Then we got to do a BIOS update. Yeah, you need at least at least 2 sticks for dual channel. So yes, you do want to run at least 2. But I would only run 2. I wouldn't run 4. Unless you were trying to fill out all the RAM. Or maximize the RAM allowed on the motherboard or supported on the board. That's the only reason why I would run 4. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. US English and UK English, yes. Thank you, Steven. Now we just wait for this stuff to load. I guess we can probably go download NVIDIA drivers and the BIOS. Oh my gosh. Edge! Stop messing with me. Dude. Should you max out the motherboard recommended RAM speed? It's not the motherboard RAM speed, it's going to be the speed of your RAM. And yes, you should be running that, but I wouldn't. Normally I recommend if you're going to do, for example, this is DDR4 3200 that's in this system. If you want to run DDR4 3200, usually I recommend just doing a BIOS update before you set the XMP profile or DOCP, or if it's DDR5, the XMP 3.0 profile or the AMD Expo profile. 4 sticks is hard on most CPUs. Best to stick with 2 sticks, dual channel on modern CPUs. Modern CPUs, aka DDR5, yes, only run 2 sticks. Don't try to run 4. That is a big problem that we've been running into with DDR5. Still a problem to this day. I'm not going to click OK on this until after this finishes here. We can go get the other ones, the other fun ones. HW monitor. Usually I like to run this while we're testing. Stupid ads. then the Asus. Thanks. Second revision of this board, and they still don't have USB-C front panel on it. Drives me nuts. Hello. I think I just saw the light briefly. Thank you. What? Again? Oh. Okay. Well, tell Mama. Alright, so we got our BIOS downloaded. Actually, probably just going to cancel that for now. Huh. Did I say freeloader? I don't know. Did you say freeloader? Yes, that is one of the... That is Chloe, one of the little misses here. Did you make sure resizable bar is enabled? I have not done that. Anything in the BIOS yet. So I haven't done anything in the BIOS yet. I'm going to do a BIOS update before I do anything in the BIOS. Which is why I've got this open in my flash drive in here. Where's my Asus folder? Look at all the BIOS updates I've done. I've got a library of BIOS. I don't know if I have this one. You meant intruder. I like the freeloader one version better. I'm gonna just dump it in here to make sure, because sometimes BIOSes don't like triple layer folders. Alright, finish and restart later. And close that. Now we'll just go ahead and... Oh dear. Because we moved it. Let's go ahead and run these. Fun BIOS stuff comes after the BIOS update, yes. You asked because you were wondering if you did that or your customer had to. Generally, I'll enable it. Oh, it's an absolute gem. Introducing NVIDIA DLSS. Virtual fake frames. NVIDIA Reflex. Reduce your input lag. Let you know. NVIDIA brings generative AI to millions. Oh, thank you. I think we'd rather have graphics cards. NVIDIA Ace. Bring digital characters to life with generative AI. Thank you. I like the old school, hey, let's code the character to do what we want it to do. XMP resize bar, undervolting OC is extra. Yes, I don't undervolt or overclock at all. If we're getting into that, then we reach out to our man Chamber Tech if we're getting into overclocking or undervolting, because he has he's Wikipedia when it comes to that kind of stuff. You just ask him and he just knows. He knows the answer. He's really good at it. Me, I can do it, and I just don't feel comfortable doing it with customers' PCs. And it takes me longer to do it. So, alright, let's go ahead and do the BIOS update. We'll see if the capture card captures this, or we could switch back to the side view. Don't know yet. But at minimum, the BIOS, I will make sure that the fans are all set up right, and make sure XMP or DOCP or AMD Expo is all set. And sometimes we'll do a couple other things like the resize bar if that's... Most motherboards actually enable that now with newer versions of the BIOS, I think. Right? I think undervolting OCing is fun part that we should all get experience on your own. Yeah, you should definitely probably understand it. If it's being done to your PC, you should understand what's going on. It's not going to capture this portion. So we're going to switch to the side view while we go through this process, because the capture card is doing derp things. The derpity derp derp. Yeah, and most motherboards now, yeah. I agree with you, some giant idiot. Yeah, most of them now, like, especially on the newer boards, it just comes enabled automatically. So, all right, let's go into Tool, into the BIOS, go into Easy Flash, and I'm gonna go ahead and locate my ASUS folder in my flash drive, and locate my ASUS B550 Wi-Fi 2 Stuff Gaming folder. Select the file. Oh, this is not a recent version. Why isn't it letting me scroll? This is weird. There we go. Yes, not worried about BitLocker. I actually did have a previous version, but it was old. This one's from 12/13/2023, the one I just downloaded. Nice. Did I? No, it's not currently plugged into a UPC. Fingers crossed. Or full sending it. It does have, this board does have a recovery though. So we're good there. So we could recover by putting the USB file in and using the renamer tool and pushing the BIOS button on the back for ASUS. It's actually a pretty simple process with ASUS. Monka S. Waiting for the BIOS update. Loop, how do you feel about Gigabyte motherboards? Oh, they're all right. I used to hate them. Like some of their older stuff, I hated. Newer stuff is getting better. They did a lot of work with the Gigabyte Control Center, which is my biggest beef with Gigabyte, was the fact that they really didn't have a tool that simplified managing the board. And Gigabyte Control Center came out, and that kind of solved all my beef with Gigabyte. You know how the Asus boards have the Asus Armory Crate, and MSI has the MSI Center. And Gigabyte finally came out with Gigabyte Control Center. So that was always my. There was never anything wrong with like the hardware side of things. They're always great. Just the software side to simplify management of the board, especially when you're building a lot of PCs and shipping them to customers. You want something easy for your customer to follow, you know, instructions, and for maintaining it. Gigabyte Control Center achieved that finally with Gigabyte. So, good job, Gigabyte. You finally caught on. We're almost done with this BIOS update. Expecting customers to follow. You know, most of them actually follow my instructions pretty well. So, I guess I'm pretty thorough. Either that, or if they get stuck, they just give me a call. We do a quick remote session, and then I walk them through it and show them how to use it. And then they feel more comfortable doing it. And then it just kind of sets them up for success from there, you know? The quick remote session show and tell. I'm gonna see. I almost sneezed again. I don't know why I'm sneezing all of a sudden. It's really dry in here because of the snow outside. It's really cold. It's getting really dry in here because of all the heat. Ugh. Oh, the BIOS update finished and we didn't power off. Thank goodness. We survived another BIOS update without a UPS. We're just rolling those dies, throwing them out there. Now we gotta do the firmware update for the LED, even though we have no RGBs in here anyway. Don't shut down or reset the PC. There was one time where it actually froze on that while I was doing a BIOS update. After the BIOS update, it froze on that screen. It just sat there for like 30 minutes, and I finally said, screw you. Even though it said don't turn it off or restart, I restarted it anyway, and it was fine. I actually redid the BIOS update, and it got through that process fine the second time around, which was kind of weird. We detected new FTPM firmware. Ho ho. Oh boy, we're going to reset the FTPM. Good thing I didn't have a Microsoft account or Windows pin. Windows Hello pin. Hello. Windows Hello. I don't know why they called it that. That was a dumb name for that. Windows Hello. Or it's Microsoft Hello, or wouldn't, I don't know. 365 Hello. Okay, now we're into the BIOS. I'm enabling the DOCP now, so that we get a full 3200 megahertz on the RAM. And we're going to check out the fans really quick with QFan control. Make sure everything's PWM where it needs to be. Okay. And resizable bar is enabled. Never once used Cortana either. Never liked it. Nah, neither did I. I don't really use Cortana. I have Google on my phone, and then we have Alexa in the house just for the experience, you know. And even though we have Alexa throughout the house, we really don't use it other than for music. That's really the only thing we use them for. So. We've got, you know, a smart stove and smart RGB lights in my daughter's room. She uses Alexa for that. But outside of that, I mean, and then we have Fire Sticks for our TVs. But I mean, I really don't watch TV, and I don't use the TV. So, I don't know. All right, we're back into Windows. Let's get it switched back over so you can see. Hey, there it is. And one thing I want to do before we run any benchmarks, we want to try to check. Yeah, well, I know there's an update for Armory Crate too. I should probably do that, because this is downloaded from the motherboard. The initial download. We'll go ahead and update the Armory Crate and all of its features. Microsoft, you will use Cortana and you will like it. That's actually their mentality with Edge and was Internet Explorer. Seriously, go try to on Edge. Go try to download. We could actually do that here, actually, real quick. Just show you. So on Edge, we say Google Chrome. Look at what it comes up with when you search Google Chrome. There's no need to download a new web browser. Don't download a new web browser. We're here. We could do the same. Microsoft recommends using Microsoft Edge for fast, secure, and modern web experience that can help save you time and money. And then we go to Google Chrome. Look, there's a pop-up here now that we're here at the website. Edge actually pops up and says, Microsoft Edge runs the same technology as Chrome with the added trust of Microsoft. They're so desperate. I mean, the person's already typing in Google Chrome, and they're already making it to the download page, and you're still trying to pop up saying, hey, don't... What does it say for Firefox? Let's go try it. Let's try it. Nothing yet. We'll go to the download page. And it downloaded and there was no pop-ups. I guess Edge just really hates Chrome. That's their Windows. You see this prompt? Yeah, okay. Nothing popped up. Let's try to go to like their actual website. Or let's try a whole new browsing session. Nothing. Nothing stops me from downloading. No pop-ups, no nothing. Maybe Microsoft owns Firefox now. But I mean, just the way Microsoft desperately tries to convince you that Google Chrome is not needed and that you can do it, everything with Edge that Chrome can do. Don't download Chrome, we could do it. bestest. They're so desperate. I just saw that the other day, and I thought that was hilarious. How desperate Microsoft was to keep you from downloading Chrome and consider using Edge. Thought it was funny. Alright, and now... this board doesn't have the fan utility on it. So now we have to go get the AI suite. So desperate, Microsoft. So desperate. Nobody wants to be my friend. That's what Edge sounds like if it had a voice. Don't you want to be my friend? Although Cortana sounds pretty cool. She's got a good voice. They've had years of practice with Cortana, you know, with Halo. Almost to the Cinebench. We'll run Cinebench for you here in just a moment. I know you're excited to see it. What else? Oh, I was working on that budget PC video yesterday and a little bit this morning as well. Lord! Forbert, I for some reason could not get AI Suite to work. I gave up trying after a while. Well, it depends on what board you have. What board do you have? Probably gonna force me to restart. Excuse me. Huh. Let's see. Does it launch without the restart? Yeah, it does. I'm also gonna disable this mini bar because that's retarded. I hate that floating thing. Fan expert. Z790 Plus Wi-Fi. There's actually no need to run the AI suite in on that board. So the Z790 Plus Wi-Fi, you could actually just go into the Armory crate if you, like, for example, try to run the Fan Expert, and you click this little icon here, which is devices, and then you'll have Fan Expert listed right here. So just click that if that's what you're trying to do. And that's all done through the Armory crate. There's really no need to run the AI suite. And I'll just run this real quick. Yeah, I don't even bother on like the 700 series or 600 series or the 600 series for AMD anymore. The AI suite, I don't even bother putting it on there because it's all in the Armory crate. You can pretty much do everything there now. Makes it a lot easier, you know. And then it's one less piece of software running on your PC. I'm good with that. Oh. Did I have anything else scheduled today? I was led to believe you could update the BIOS through the AI suite at one point, so I thought I'd look. No, I don't think you can. I would recommend just putting the BIOS on a USB drive and then booting to the BIOS and then going to the advanced modes tool and then the AI, or I'm sorry, the easy updater tool. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's really easy to do. Just download the BIOS, extract it to your flash drive, boot to the BIOS, go to the advanced mode, go to tools, and then select the easy updater tool. The name might not be 100% accurate there, but from there you just navigate to the flash drive, select the BIOS file that you want to update to, and then update. Done. If you do have a Microsoft account set up on your Windows profile, it'll likely reset the FTPM security. So your PIN, if you have a PIN, for example, you'll have to reset that PIN when you get back into Windows. So make sure you know your Windows account password to get back into your Microsoft account after you do the BIOS update. That'll happen regardless if you did it through the software or through the BIOS, but just for awareness. The AI suite just kind of crashed on me, which is interesting, but it's probably because I haven't restarted the PC. I just said, nah, I'm done. Ticket completed. I ended up putting the BIOS file on one of my storages, NVMe's. Yeah, you can, some boards will let you access the storage on the motherboard, but in some cases, actually, the board is temporarily not able to access storage during the BIOS update, which is why they want you to put it on a USB drive. So just be careful with that. Sometimes that'll happen. All right, so we're ready. Let's run a Cinebench run. Ooh, Cinebench. What do you want me to run, the multi-core or single core? Noted. Yes, sir. Some giant idiot. This one's for you. You want me to run the multi-core or single core first? For like 2 minutes. Jeez. You want the side panel on or off? It's a mesh side panel, so it really doesn't matter. All right, we're running. We'll run it till 8 minutes. Oh, shit. I forgot to open up HW monitor. Oh gosh. I just saw the light temporarily. Briefly. There you go. Thank you. Now we can kind of see the stats of the CPU while we're running. It's holding pretty good at 88.6, and honestly, the fans haven't even kicked on yet. It's kind of weird. Would have expected these fans to, like, really start going. Producing some heat. But we haven't throttled yet, really. I mean, it's 4.5 is the max turbo on this one. Maybe throttled a little bit, but that could be a power setting in Windows. I need to embrace the dad seats. Not as spicy as I thought. 120 watts. I mean, it's a 5800 X3D. It's not like a Ryzen 9. Yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. It's starting to thermal throttle now, but for running it, you know, Cinebenches, the fans honestly have not even kicked on yet, like, at all. Which is surprising to me. I feel like these fans should be kicked on by now. Maybe the AI suite is fucked up. I probably should have rebooted. Look at this real quick. I don't think it's reading the temps right. Don't think it's reading the temps right. Because our package temps are 90. Oh, there we go. Now we're reading. Yeah, there's something wrong with this tool. But my fans haven't changed yet. So we're getting thermal throttle because there's something wrong with this. It hasn't changed the speed of the fans yet. It should be like maxed out right now, almost, right? The fan should be at full RPM. Now they are. After I applied that. Weird. So we should see the temps come down again. Oh, we're back up to 4.2. That's good. And our temps are going down. We're back down to 89. So here's our Peerless Assassin finally kicking in, as our fan speeds were kind of hung. Probably should have rebooted before I started this. That's what it told me to do, and I didn't. Restarting is for the weak. Now it's doing pretty good. Now we're at 4.3. We might even get a boost up to 4.5 at this rate. It's going up. Ooh, temps are coming down after you set the benefit. All I did was reapply. I just moved the fan curve and I hit apply, and then it's like, oh, we're supposed to be running. It was hanging down as if it was like 30 Celsius still. I think I just have to reboot to solve that problem. Because I didn't restart after I installed the AI suite. The AI suite is controlling the fans right now. Yeah, I set a better fan curve and the temps came down bigly. Bigly. Too soon to trust the AI. I know, right? See? Problems happen with the AI suite. And then we got a boost up to 4.3 now with the lower temps. Might give us a better score. Give it a couple more years. You mean run Cinebench for a couple more years? Just kidding. What if I did a 24/7 Cinebench stream and where it was just streaming Cinebench running with temps just to see how long a CPU could last and just keep going until the CPU dies. You'd watch the hell out of it. Wonder what my electric bill would be just from running that. If it's like 120 watts, you know, constant. How much? I mean, it would be pennies. It wouldn't be that much more. Maybe a few dollars more a month. I don't know. I'm like 18 cents per kilowatt hour up here in Michigan. So I think that's our peak usage time, thanks to DTE. Its TDP electric bill is probably not that high, really. I know. It's probably not going to be much more than like a heavy-duty light bulb. Like an outdoor light bulb. Cool. Well, it's doing a good job. The cooler is. It's keeping up with it. Keeping it within check. Running good. 4.3 is pretty good for Cinebench. I think its max boost is 4.5. So we're not boosted all the way. But I don't think it would boost all the way in Cinebench, honestly. Just turn the heating off. Yeah, you could do that. I could build a couple of miners and throw them in here and mine and heat the place. I've seen a lot of people do that, videos actually. It's kind of funny how they did that. But I mean, it eliminates the heat bill, but gas isn't expensive here, so that's what we use for heat here, is gas. And that's not very expensive. Alright, so now that we've tested that for almost a full 10 minutes, we've got a pretty good score. I'd say that's pretty good. Not bad. We're on the single core. It's going to try to go all the way to 4.5, isn't it? On the single core run. We hit 4.2, 4.42. Although you were getting a bit of snow this evening or tomorrow, right? I don't know. We had snow this morning, or last night. And it is actually currently, it's a light snow right now. No, I guess it's a little heavier than a light snow. It's snowing right now. So wonder why I chose 4, 5, 6, 7, and yeah, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chose those cores. Or I guess those are threads that we're looking at there. But all the cores on the CPU are pretty warm. I guess it's just core number 3 that it's running right now. Right here. Well, I'd say that's pretty good for Cinebench. For a 5800X 3D, it's pretty good. But now, I want to just run this on the GPU real quick. See what kind of frames we get maxed out. Should be. I'm gonna crank anti-aliasing up. Yeah, no, they're not even. The fans were just barely running there. So now we're gonna crank the GPU. Put a load on it. Looks like it's running pretty good. A little bit of a skip there, but I think it's always skipped there on this benchmark. Whoa, I'm flying in clouds and stuff. We could have fun with those. Now I'm in the woods. Whoa. Whoa. My dog thinks I'm crazy. He's over here staring at me like, what's wrong with you, dude? Alright. I'm done playing around. Looks good to me. We just got to activate Windows and do Windows updates, all that boring stuff. Looking great, Ben. Oh, thanks, Victor. We're almost done with it. I thought I'd stream the software side of it because I knew you'd be checking in on me. Is it done yet? I know you're excited to get to it before the weekend here. So I'm trying to get it done for you. I've just been purely focused on this guy. Getting this done. Can't wait. I know you can't. So some of the boring stuff here, we just got to finish updates and then activate Windows. I'm not going to punch in the key on stream, so not that you'd be able to reuse the key after the fact, but you know. And then it should be good to go. So probably in the next 45-ish minutes or so. QA, QC is so fun. Yeah. Normally I would actually run that benchmark tool for a couple hours just to make sure that it's, you know, got a good chance to heat up the card, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure it ran pretty good, so I'm not really worried about it. Most issues are presented pretty early, right off the rip. So if it's an issue, then with this card, it's not going to present itself for a bit. And either way, it probably would get through the tests if there was an issue, but there's no issue with the card. I'll have to go and get the new monitor and start flying since I can't fly this weather in real airplane. Yeah, it's the weather isn't so great for flying right now. It's snowing over here. So at least you can continue your practice here on your new simulator. Not VFR, for sure. All right. Well, guys, it's been a blast today. I am going to probably end the stream here. If I get back early enough, I might stream another build later this evening. but that will likely be tomorrow. If we get to another stream, it'll probably be tomorrow. Let's see here. I got that open loop emergency service tomorrow morning. So a local customer reached out, now a customer, but they reached out because they had somebody build them an open loop and they haven't really serviced it since they got it, and it's been about 8 months. So he has an event upcoming this Friday night and Saturday, but he says he's getting a lot of skipping in his games, and I had him take some pictures while the PC was running, and the loop or the tube that goes down to the CPU block, it has no fluid in it. And I'm like, oh, where's your fluid? And he says there's actually a leak in it, and I'm like, well, you need to add fluid. So we're gonna take a look and find out where that leak is tomorrow morning and get that taken care of so it's not leaking, number one, and hopefully not leaking on any components that, you know, we didn't really look at it yet, but also see if his pump died for lack of fluid. It was not one of my builds. Not one of mine. But he is reaching out to me because the guy who built it is no longer responding, so I guess we'll figure it out tomorrow morning. But that's tomorrow morning's early emergency fix this before my event, gaming event. And then I have today I have to go run out and take a look at a stream setup and do some upgrades to it. We're upgrading the graphics card actually from a 3060 to a 4070 Ti. We're learning about open loops tomorrow. I don't know if I was gonna stream. I didn't think I was gonna stream that. I was just gonna do that on the fly. Unless you guys want me to, we could. It would be early in the morning because he's showing up at like 8 a.m. and because I need as much time as I could. And I'm like, yeah, I won't be able to service it today because I've already got too much on the schedule. And then tomorrow, I've already got stuff on the schedule as well. And I'm like, you got to get it in early tomorrow if you want me to service it. Stay tuned. I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit, some giant idiot. I'm sneezing today. Holy smokes. I just saw the light briefly. There was just some light all of a sudden. And then it went away. But yeah, that's today's schedule and tomorrow's schedule. And I was also thinking about, oh, that's cool. Let's go to a black screen. You know, screw you. I'm just gonna go over to the side view again. I was also thinking about maybe doing like a community gaming day. Start doing something like that where we start playing some games. And I'll stream some games. I don't know if you guys are into that. And we can talk tech and game, hang out on the Discord channel. That sounds fun. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. If there's any interest there, I'm. Sounds like we got one interest from you, some giant idiot. More than welcome to. I'll set something up. Try to get that going. What games do you guys like to play? Because I'm a PUBG player and I like a game called Beyond All Reason, which is a total annihilation rebuild. Don't know if you're familiar with it, but I also play some Call of Duty Warzone, even though I'm not the biggest fan, but I still enjoy it because a lot of my buddies play it. Play some Red Dead. I have PC Building Sim. We can play that. What drives me nuts about the PC Building Sim is that you have to unlock all this crap. And you can't just like sit down and, hey, I'm gonna build an awesome PC and just like on a skirmish mode or something, or you know, like a free mode. I don't know if they've changed it since I've last played, but you have to go through and like unlock all this stuff, and it's like, dude, come on. Yeah. Streamception. That'll be interesting. We'll try it. Maybe on Sundays. That's usually my, like, chill day unless there's a huge workload. So, do some chilling. Fun stuff. Not that this isn't fun. This is fun. I like this stuff. This is fun stuff. Alright guys, I'm going to cut it here. You guys have a good rest of your Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow on Friday. Maybe tonight, but probably tomorrow, Friday. And let me know how you guys feel about that community gaming day, where we hang out and game, and talk, and tech, and nerd out. Alright, have a good day guys. We'll see ya. I'm ending once, finally, before, like, 10 o'clock in the evening over here, Eastern time. We'll see you guys. Take care.
You